Let's talk a little bit about how it's changed ever since you took over here 4 years ago.
Yeah, well, we had the first fair in 2008, and we welcomed 101 galleries from 19 different countries. This year we have 260 galleries from 38 countries.
So how is that, also the profile of the person visiting changing as well?
Well, initially I think we did a very good job at reaching out to the local audience. We've increasingly got better penetration within the region. We get a collector base really from all over Asia, and that's very important for the success of the fair. We have collectors coming from Taiwan, Korea, Southeast Asia, of course mainland China, and also it's been very important for the Australian audience as well. Now we're beginning to see a truly global interest in this part of the world, and we're getting collectors now from Europe and the United States coming in some numbers.
What are they looking at, though, when you have a look at the more local buyers, and including the mainlanders here as well from the Chinese mainland? Do they look at contemporary Western art, or is it just contemporary, indigenous art as well?
Well, I think it's very natural for a young collector base, as it were, to look at work from their own cultural and aesthetic backgrounds to start with. That's an easier sort of point of reference for them. But as time goes on, Chinese collectors are beginning to collect international art in some numbers. We have, last year, for example, we had Chinese collectors collecting work by South African artists from Germany.
I was going to ask you, what are they buying, actually? Yeah, so it's pretty much a universal thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so, what are they, what sort of, we've seen with the Hong Kong wine market how, it's become the world's biggest. We've seen also the same sort of price increases that we have witnessed in other markets in other eras.
Well, we're not seeing inflated prices at the moment. I think it's still very early days for the market. There's a great amount of education to do. People are very curious. I think what's very interesting is, in the same way that with the wine market, whereas perhaps 2 or 3 years ago just having a bottle of Chateau Lafite was enough to show off, now it's actually about understanding the things behind a product, understanding in terms of the wine market, understanding the importance of the year and all these sorts of things.
So you're actually seeing that in terms of art now?
It's now translating to the art side of things, and I think that's going to be very, very interesting for the art market. If connoisseurship becomes the point of gaining kudos, then that's something that's going to be very, very interesting.
Okay, it's not also just growing in terms of numbers, it's growing in terms of size as well.
Yes,
floor space.
Yeah, absolutely. We've increased the floor space by about 30% this year. We have 100 more galleries this year than last year. We have a brand new section called Asia 1 to really cement our commitment to Asia. We have a section of solo projects by Asian artists. We often talk about education in terms of educating the Asian collector base, but there's also a great need to educate the Western collector base about work from a different cultural and aesthetic background. And Asia 1 provides a great opportunity to learn more. Okay,
we mentioned also in the introduction that Art Basel was taking control, or just taking a stake in Hong Kong art. What do they bring to the party?
Art Basel have an unparalleled expertise and experience in organising the 2 major art fairs in the world. This really will cement ArtHK's position as in the top 3 art fairs in the world. They have unparalleled access to...
the one in Basel itself and
right.
One in Miami, yeah?
Indeed, yeah. And they have fantastic collector base, so it will take this from being an art fair of regional significance to being one of truly global significance.
Okay, what's your favourite exhibits?
Well, there are some great pieces at the fair. Aquavella galleries have some of the some fantastic museum quality works by modern artists such as Picasso, Cézanne, etc. We have works by Andy Warhol. But I would suggest that people go and check out the Asia 1 section to really see what's happening in Asia right now. It's a very interesting time for the Asian art scene.
And predominantly, which galleries are the ones which have come from Europe here? Which are the top ones?
We have galleries such as Thaddeus Ropach, Gallery Krinzinger, Bruno Bischofberger, who was one of the first galleries to represent Warhol in Europe. So we've got some of the big hitters here this year.
Magnus, thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thank you very much.